Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton have been the targets of a verbal bombardment from Formula One legend Fernando Alonso. In today's video, we explore the Formula One landscape to learn the truth behind Alonso's startling remarks. Is it an actual claim that Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen's recent successes may have more to do with luck than sheer talent according to Alonso? If you are thinking the same, don't go anywhere. In today's video, we are going to talk about all those concerns. Let's talk about the criticisms of Fernando Alonso. Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton have been the targets of a verbal bombardment from Formula One legend Fernando Alonso, who has questioned every aspect of their performance. But that's just the beginning. Alonso, who is known for constantly expressing his opinion, isn't simply criticizing his fellow drivers. He is extremely worried about the new F1 regulations, especially in light of Red Bull's enormous advantage. Prepare yourself for an exciting journey. In today's video, we explore the Formula One landscape to learn the truth behind Alonso's startling remarks. Thus, Fernando Alonso, who has always aspired to be a speaker, has thrown a curveball at the Formula One world by claiming that Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen's recent successes may have more to do with luck than sheer talent. Let's see how it works. Max Verstappen is fighting for his third world title after recently setting records with 10 straight race victories. With 7 World Championship victories, Lewis Hamilton, the living legend, is the most successful full-time F1 driver ever, with an unparalleled amount of competitions, victories, and several pole positions. Regarding Alonso, the Spanish athlete has won 2 World Championships, both in 2005, with 6 people, and a respectable 32 people won in this year's races. He's creating a stir, securing with his new Aston Martin team 7 people placed in the top 14 races, placing third in the current drivers' standings in the 42nd place. With his last victory coming on the 2013 Spanish Grand Prix, Alonso may not be aiming for a third world championship, but here's the real kicker. Alonso contends that being in the right location at the right moment has more to do with Hamilton and Verstappen's success than anything else. So, what did Alonso claim about Hamilton joining Mercedes? He claimed that when Hamilton joined Mercedes, it was not his magic that brought him championship glory. Instead, a change in the rules, particularly the introduction of hybrid engines, drove Mercedes to the top. Alonso claims that Verstappen experienced the same thing when he was younger and began his career with the Toro Rosso and Rebel teams. The F1 world was still ruled by Hamilton, according to Alonso. The Rebels' present success isn't just due to Verstappen's cleverness, but rather the outcome of another change to regulations in 2021. This attack on the 2 most successful F1 drivers in history previous 10 years may have surprised some. Watch out, it looks more focused on Verstappen, the current champion supreme, in 2023. After which, at Hamilton, with whom Alonso had a hostile rivalry back in 2007 when they were teammates. Alonso's ascent to fame was evidence of his skill as he defeated the then-dominant Michael Schumacher and Ferrari, who had won 5 straight championships in the early 2000s, by winning 2 world championships with an underdog Renault team. He held the record for the youngest world champion in Formula One until Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel overtook him. But since those glory days, Alonso's F1 career has been rife with close calls. From losing the title by a single point in 2007 to Vettel stealing it from him with a late-season surge in 2012, Alonso now criticizes the idea of creating teams around oneself and debating the technical decisions, saying that F1 success depends more on luck than on human competence. Regulations and design inspiration frequently make a bigger difference than the personality of the driver. As the Formula One community takes in Alonso's contentious viewpoint, he asserts that you simply have to be in the right position at the right moment, since success is luck-dependent. One thing is certain, both on and off the track, racing drama continues to play out. Now let's change the subject. Although Fernando Alonso's direct comments have drawn attention in the racing world, his dissatisfaction extends much further, down to the core of the Formula One rule book. Because Formula One world is advancing toward the Singapore Grand Prix, let's put a stop to talking about the drivers and focus instead on stoking Alonso's ire over sporting laws. This weekend, one incontrovertible fact has been appending the sport's core foundation. Red Bull Racing has achieved a startling 100% win rate so far. According to none other than Fernando Alonso of Aston Martin, this incredible streak of winning all 14 races this season is a clear indication that the new regulations for Formula 1 may have been disastrously implemented this year. Although the goal of closing the gap between the frontrunners and the rest of the grid was partially achieved by the introduction of ground effect aerodynamic vehicles, an unanticipated consequence emerged: Rebel Racing's unquestionable supremacy in the 2022 season. Fast forward to this year, and Rebel's stranglehold on the sport has only grown stronger with a perfect win rate so far. Take a look at the current drivers' standings and you'll see Max Verstappen sprinting ahead with a commanding 145-point lead over Sergio Perez in second place, who has accumulated 219 points. El Aguero stated there are two views, and one is that the new regulations have brought good things for sure. We can follow with these cars much more closely than we could do in the past. There is not so much turbulence, so much easier when you have to chase the car that you want, said Alonso, the outspoken critic, in his candid remarks to Cadena. On the other hand, something has failed because of the last 25 races, 24 of which have been won by Red Bull, and that was not in any of the plans. If you look at third on the grid, a non-Red Bull to the last, sometimes moving into Q1 is very difficult because in 410 there are like 16 cars. I have no idea what these people consume because they are the best at everything. They have the fastest car and driver, they never make mistakes, they execute the quickest pit stops, they have the best starts, and they currently have no weak points. However, when you look at the numbers, Rebel Racing's absolute dominance becomes crystal clear. They have won 14 straight games and they don't appear to be slowing down. For the third time in a row, Max Verstappen is pursuing the Drivers' World Championship, and Sergio Perez, one of his dependable teammates, has been crucial to Rebel's success. There has been discussion in the paddock about the intriguing prospect that Rebel will win every race this season, an accomplishment that would be nothing short of remarkable. Let's return to Fernando Alonso, the man to watch in the 2023 season. He has been nothing short of a revelation. In the context of the season, Alonso has more than earned his stripes after achieving an astonishing 7 podium finishes in the first 14 races. He has solidly established himself as the leading candidate to break the Rebels' iron grip on the sport. However, given Red Bull's current winning streak, it becomes harder for Alonso, in his own words, to claim his first victory since the 2013 Grand Prix. As the racing world tries to make sense of this unexpected turn in the Formula 1 story, something has gone wrong with the new rules because of the last 25 races, 24 of which were won by Red Bull. Red Bull is the best at everything. There are no weak points, and all the teams are trying to find some. Is there a fair competition taking place, or did the new regulations unintentionally give Rebel an advantage? The debate is far from done, and the search for solutions is as thrilling as a race around when we compete our tour through Fernando's detours and turn Alonso's direct remarks about Formula 1. It is evident that his candor knows no limits, from challenging the victories for Lewis and Max Verstappen and Hamilton to examining the extreme rules that control the sport. Alonso has given us plenty to consider. Considering his statements, we can't help but if Alonso were to discover himself in a device similar to those for personnel in Hamilton, he could be an unstoppable force on the track, ready to shatter records once more. But this argument is far from settled, and the prospects for Formula 1 are still thrilling. So, the debate is far from done, and the search for solutions is as thrilling as a race around turning Alonso's direct remarks about Formula 1. What do you think of Alonso's observations regarding the status of the sport today? Let us know in the comments section below. Share your views in the comments, and subscribe to the channel to watch what's even juicier coming next in the next F1 season.